Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the toy table for another action figure review video. And in today's video, it's Weapon X time. Oh yeah, Weapon X from the Age of Apocalypse wave. This actually was a really cool find because I just jumped into a Walmart real quick, had to pick up a few things, and decided to go over to the toy aisle, and there he was. And he was the only one on the pegs. And this actually is one of the figures that I wanted from this wave. There's 7 figures. Sugar Man is the Build-A-Figure. I can already tell you that I'm not going to be getting all this wave. There's only just, this was the number one that I wanted. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look and wait and see if I see more of them. Beast. But there's some really cool figures. But let's get into this. So Weapon X right here. There he is in the box right there. And there's actually the rest of the wave with the Sugar Man Build-A-Figure. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know nothing about Sugar Man. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me, but I don't. It's a very unusual looking Build-A-Figure. But I tell you what, let's get Weapon X out of the box and we'll do the review. All right. So as far as the figure itself, accessory-wise, nothing really. He actually has this piece right here, and we also have the Build-A-Figure piece for Sugar Man. I'm not for sure. That appears to maybe be the left leg. Not for sure, but there we go. The figure itself is really just, it's just cool looking. The color and everything on it. I mean, the head sculpt looks really good on it. Also, the paint as we're going down through here, even the simulated hair on his arm right here, it's a little interesting looking, to say so myself. But I'm really impressed with the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks really good. The hair and everything, the back of the figure, lots of muscularity with the figure. And of course, we got the iconic claws right here. As far as articulation goes, I expect it to be actually pretty good. As you can see with the head sculpt, we have a lot of back movement. The actual hair, the way it's designed right here, it allows you to actually get a really good upward look. Side to side, has some really good side to side motion. Especially on the left side, it seems to be a little bit more than on the right side, but that's okay. The actual neck area here, when you lift his head up, it does appear to be a little skinnier, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. The trap area on his shoulders is pretty intense. As far as range of motion goes in the shoulders, I think we're going to have her pretty much standard. This arm appears to be a little tight, but there we go. So there, it's pretty much normal, you know, pretty much parallel. The actual shoulders move really good. We have a bicep pivot. I don't know about you guys. The bicep pivots, I personally am not a huge fan of, because when you pivot it out like this, it sort of looks deformed, but I like the fact that we have it because it does help. As far as elbows go, let's see what we can get going on here. That looks like that's going to be about it as far as elbows. It is double jointed, but with the bicep and the forearm, that's about all you're going to get right there, which again is not bad at all. It's pretty standard with a lot of these figures. As far as an ab crunch goes, we've got very good back range of motion right here. Forward range is actually really good. I mean, you can look. He's almost you know, sitting up. So that's actually a really nice little feature there. Side to side is pretty much non-existent. We do have a waist pivot, and I do like the fact that the belt actually doesn't really bunch up. But again, if you do a pivot to the side pretty extreme, you do get these little areas here that flatten out, which sort of makes it look a little interesting. So as far as legs go in the hip area, we should have some really decent range of motion because of the fact there's no kind of clothing or anything like that to interfere with that. Right there. And we also should have some good double jointed knees, which we do right there. And as far as his ankle goes, we got the normal side to side, and we actually have a pretty decent pivot on the ankle right there. So he actually flattens out really good, pointing his toe down and pointing his toe up. So, but the downward motion is really, really good. As far as the figure goes itself, like I said earlier, this is one of my favorite figures because I really love this head sculpt. As far as his accessory, I do believe this should pop off like that. So his actual claws will come off. Then you take this right here, and it should pop right into place there. So there you go. That's a pretty neat little dynamic for this figure. I dig it. So you can actually get some pretty good looks. The claws themselves, not a lot of detail. I mean, they're pretty much, you know, claws as far as the detail goes on them. I know with this particular figure, they were a little bent out of place. But with a little bit of working, you can get them to go straight back just like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a cool figure. The one thing I will say, he has a very dark blue on the actual paint. It's sort of a mix between, like here, if you look at the back, it's sort of matte looking, a little duller. But if you come on down here to the calves, it's a lot more shinier. I'm a big fan of more of a matte finish myself other than a gloss. But again, his chest area here, but when you move down, like I said, when you move down to the calves and lower legs, they do seem to glossen up a little bit. So that's an interesting fact. I do wish in a way that it would have came with a maybe another hand, an open hand or something like that. But it does work. It works out great. The fact that sometimes you can have too much, and in some instances too little works better. And I think that's the case with this particular figure here. It's very simplistic. You've got his claws out. You have one accessory here for his amputated hand that you can just cap it off, which is a nice touch. So yeah, you can do some really cool stuff with him. But there he is right there, Weapon X from the Age of Apocalypse line, or wave. It's cool. I dig it. So I tell you what, guys, I'll give you my final thoughts, and I'll see you here in a second. All right. Weapon X from the Age of Apocalypse wave with the Sugar Man Build-A-Figure. Me personally, I really dig this figure. It has some really subtle things that make it cool. Number one is right here. I do like the fact that you can actually take this extended claw off and cap it. That's a neat little touch. The head sculpt looks really, really good. It's got a good, more of an angry expression, which leads to the actual way the character is painted and the claws extended. So overall, Weapon X, he is cool. I dig it. The hair, the head sculpt, the hair sculpt, like I was telling you earlier, the only thing I've noticed is with the paint, some areas are more of a dull matte, and then you come down here to the lower legs and they appear to be more of a gloss finish, but that's not that big of a deal. If I would have made one thing a little different, maybe a little bit of color on the leg area here would have been a nice touch. But overall, I think the figure is balanced really good. I do like these red accents on the chest and the back. I do like the fact the way his belt's done. So yeah, Weapon X from the Age of Apocalypse wave. Very, very cool figure. I really dig it. I'm glad I was able to find it. Like I said earlier, totally unexpected. Wasn't even going to look at anything because I'd already been to that Walmart like the day before or 2 days before. So I didn't expect anything. And lo and behold, there he was. He was the only one of this wave, and he was just on the peg by himself, right in the front. It still had all the old stuff behind him. So I don't know. I don't know if this could be possibly 2 per case. I was talking to my buddy Kentpool about it because I would assume that the whole wave would have been put out, especially out of Walmart. So for this to be the only one there, it does sort of lead me to think that these are 2 per case. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't expect him to be there all by himself either. So logic would make us think that the whole wave was put out. So, but anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for this unboxing video of the Weapon X Marvel Legend from the Age of Apocalypse wave. I really hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time on my channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button and make sure you got notifications turned on. And always remember, toys refresh your soul, and I'll see you next time.